If you ever have to work with food on a narrative film, but you can't afford a food stylist, let me share some tips with you. Hi, my name is Priscilla Torres, and I'm a filmmaker in Atlanta, Georgia. In this video, I'm going to share my experience directing my short film, Cooking with Claudia, while also serving as the food stylist of the film. So let's begin. Number 1, be prepared. This tip is kind of obvious, but you won't believe how many first-time filmmakers skip this step. You should always prep well. Pre-production is the key to a successful shoot. This binder contains the prep work I did for my short film. The storyboards, shot list, wardrobe, director's plans, etc. Doing this will help you learn your story and have a solid shooting plan. When you begin your script breakdown, make sure you add an extra category for food. Food can sometimes fall under props or set dressing, but it's always helpful to have it in its own category to avoid confusion. There's so many things that you have to keep in consideration when you're working with food. For example, if the actor has to eat the food, or if the food has to be in different cooking stages throughout the film. In one of the scenes of my short film, the main character had to marinate a batch of chicken thighs and place them in the oven. Now, I knew that later in the film, she would have to take them out of the oven. So in order to preserve continuity, I bought 2 identical baking dishes, one to hold the raw chicken and another one to hold the cooked version. This way we have both dishes ready to go and we didn't have to clean one so that we can use it on the next take. Thinking about these small details will save you a lot of headaches on the day. Fun fact, bubbles and steam in this shot were added in post-production. Magic. The process of a script breakdown will help you come up with a shopping list, which brings me to tip number 2, scout grocery stores before your shoot. Not every store is the same, and you won't be able to find everything you need in one store. One of the challenges I had for my short film was that I needed to recreate a Salvadorian dish called pan con pollo. Now, this dish requires a specific type of bread that you can't find at a regular grocery store in Atlanta. So I went to an international store that carries a lot of Latino products, and I found something similar in their bakery section. I made sure to ask what time they usually bake the bread so I could get the best looking ones for my shoot. Also, try to shop as close to the shoot as possible. If you can do it the same day, even better. But since you are doing your own food styling, you probably won't have time because you also have to direct, and that means that just won't work for you. Tip number 3, buy multiples. There are several reasons why you should have multiples on hand. For instance, you might need the same shot from different angles, or your actor might forget their lines, or you simply might not like the take, and you just have to do it again and again and again. Your food will be affected by the set's temperature, and what may look fresh on the first take, it may not look the same by the third. Keep your veggies in a fridge if you have access to one, or get a cooler specifically for the food you'll be using on set. And please don't use the same cooler as Crafty, as the crew might accidentally eat your food. Number 4, pick your heroes. What is a hero? Well, a hero is an object or a prop that is the main focus of the scene. And a very specific characteristic of a hero is that it needs to look perfect. When you go shopping, you need to be looking for heroes at all times. Inspect every food item carefully, and once you have your heroes, place them inside a Ziploc bag, label them, and set them aside. Don't let anybody play with them. Tip number 5, plan your layout ahead of time. On the shoot day, you're going to be juggling a lot of things, so make your job easier by deciding ahead of time where everything will live. This is kind of like deciding what you're gonna wear tomorrow. You don't want to do it last minute. Before my shoot, I decided on a specific dishware I wanted to use for the film. I laid everything out on the kitchen island and labeled where each food item would go. Then I took a reference photo and added it to my production binder. This was helpful for these top-down views. You can see how closely they resemble the reference photo. This made moving between takes faster and more efficient. Now you're probably wondering what kind of tools do you need to get the job done, which brings me to tip number 6. Have a basic toolkit. There are several tools you could buy for your food styling kit. It will all depend on the kind of food you're working with. But here is a basic kit. A pair of tweezers, spatulas, knives, scissors, brushes, gloves, cutting boards, Ziploc bags, Sharpies, paper towels, cafeteria trays, and an ice box or a cooler. Now my final tip is to get help. Hiring a professional food stylist can be expensive, but that doesn't mean that you can't ask a friend to take on the role for your film. Just make sure it's someone that has a good eye and that you can trust. It would help you take one thing off your plate. During my shoot, there were so many things I had to do that I didn't have time to use the restroom all day. I was able to pull it off, but in retrospect, I wish I had more time to focus on the performances. The reason why I was the food stylist on my film is because I was the only Salvadoran on set, and therefore I was the only one that knew exactly how the food should look. So if you can get help, go for it. But for those moments where you don't have that extra set of hands, I hope these tips are helpful to you. Thank you for watching this video, and if you're interested in watching the film I made, the link is in the corner. I'll see you on the next one.